For anyone starting to follow or to join or watch this after the recording is done, my name is Rosemary Rodriguez. I am a commercial broker and I am a former event planner. So I love to interview entrepreneurs and vendors to learn about their story and how they got started. If you're a vendor, if you're an entrepreneur and you would like to share your story and want to let others know the highs and lows of being an entrepreneur, please send me a message and we can get you on the schedule also. So today we have Treats Foria. Let me know. So tell me your name. So I just said your company name. So your name,
Mhm.
company name, and why did you choose the name that you chose?
Oh gosh, that's a good question. The last one anyway. Okay, well, first and foremost, my name is Earah Harris. Earah like Sarah. I tell people it's like Sarah. My mother's name was Sarah. It starts with an E instead of an S, only difference. So most people get thrown off by the way it looks, but it's pronounced Earah. Victoria Baked Goods and Sweets. Wow. Gosh, that was back in 2016, I want to say. When we were trying to find a name, it was very difficult at that time because it seemed like so many good names were already taken. I had a few, up my sleeve that I wanted to use, but of course, other people already had them. Um, the treats and euphoria came originally, I guess, from the words treats and then euphoria, because in the beginning, I did make a lot of treats and I have over the years. I mean, everything from your candy, popsicles, soft and hard. Um, Gosh, low everything. I did a lot of stuff since I was a teenager, but decided to go ahead and just bring it to fruition. And the word euphoria is where we kind of chopped off a couple of letters and added that onto the name because we wanted people to have an experience, a great experience every time they taste our goodies. So Treats Euphoria was born. So we just brought the
I
two
love
words
it.
together.
So you say we. Who is the other person that you're partnered with in this venture?
Well, as far as the name, these were former coworkers and friends of mine that came up with it and helped me. I currently do not have a partner. It is just me. I do have a daughter that has helped me off and on for a number of years. Pretty much a grown up, a college graduate now, and starting her own life. So can't really depend on her that much because she's got, of course, her own life to live. But I've was started off, I guess, of course, by my dad and my brother. They were like, "Your things are good. They have been good for years. Why aren't you selling it? Why aren't you making money from it?" I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. I had to really think long and hard to pray about it because I was like, look, I had a business years ago, back in, gosh, little after the 2000s, after I got my degree, because I do not have a degree in the culinary arts. I do have certificates, but I do not have an actual degree. My originality was to go into, I was originally supposed to go into accounting. Excuse me, I want to be a CPA. Modern furniture, everything, just the works, right? And then my second year of college, God spoke to me and was like, and yeah, truly God spoke to me. And he's like, no, you change your major. I'm like, okay, to what? And he was like, art. And I was like, art. Now, mind you, this was in the late 90s. And I'm like, to what can you make money in art, other than fine art like drawings and
Yeah.
paintings, which I do have a background in because my mother Sarah was a commercial artist. So she taught my brother. I have a brother. Well, I said that earlier. Well, my brother and I both knew how to do fine art through her because she taught us quite a bit of these watercolors, acrylics, you name it, drawing and painting. We could do it. We still can. Matter of fact, he still does. I don't do it as much, but he definitely still does, which is awesome. But
Yeah.
anyway, at that time, I think graphic design and the internet was coming out, and web design was starting to come into place. So I said, okay, there's probably money in that. So I'll go in there, saw a degree in it, and started and tried, I guess, after a couple of years, I say back in 20, let's see, my oldest was born in 2002. So like 2002, 2003, I just had my first daughter, was married, had my first daughter at that point, and wanted to stay home with her. Didn't want to, leave her. Of course, she's the newborn, my first, right? So I was like, okay, I'll start my own business. Oh gosh, what'd I do that for? It was a big flop. I thought I did it prematurely. Just went out and did not listen to God, listen to myself, just doing it because I wanted to, and it flopped. It was a big flop. I was so devastated because I'm not that type of person that when I do things, I like to succeed. I don't want to fail, and that was a failure, big time. Had to go back to working in the field. Had to, give at that time our grandparents, my husband's parents, to watch just so we could, make ends meet and have income or decent income. So since then, I was really kind of burned by that, and I was like, I don't know if I want to go in business again. More or less than baking, yeah, it could work, but I asked God. I was like, look, you're gonna have to be with me on this 20, 100%. If it's not a go with you, there's no point in me doing it. I'm one of those type of people, and especially the older I'm getting, there's no point in wasting time. So I'm like, I don't want to do it if it's gonna waste the time. So he gave me the yes, and thus Treesoria was born after I got all the paperwork and licenses and cottage license, all these different things you need in order to have it, because I started in my home. So June, matter of fact, we just celebrated 7 years. So
Wow.
June 30th of the last month, yeah, we celebrated 7 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's a blessing to see. I never thought it was gonna go this far, this long. So
It,
it's
you
been
know,
awesome.
people don't understand that when you choose to be an entrepreneur, it's because there's a part of you that you have a creative part of you that wants to take that outlet and go. And it's
Yes.
not easy. Nobody
No.
tells us anything. We're just like, oh, I see them do it. I'm gonna do it too.
Right. I can do it too.
Did
Yep.
they not tell you how hard it was and how many times I hit my head against the wall and how many times I've cried and
Gosh.
I quit in my
Yes.
head like 30 times before I
Yes.
even said, "Okay, I'm gonna do it." And then when you're like
Right.
halfway through, it's kind of like, "I'm done. I'm done. I can't do this no more. This is it. This is it." And then you're like, "Wait a minute." You hear the voice in your head, and God's like, "You did not come all this way to quit." And you're like, "Oh, dang, you're right. You're right. We're about to break through. Let's stick with it." So nobody talks
That's
about
right.
that. And I think that's so important because
No.
that's
It is very important.
we see all these big companies and industries and nobody realizes that they
Mm,
come with a supportive group of people behind them. They're not doing it by themselves. They're not
true.
doing it by
That's
themselves.
true.
all
Oh
these
yeah. No.
all
They've
these
got
come
help.
with organizations or people, investors, people that have believed in their system
Yes.
and said, you know what, you got something going on here, here's my team, let's implement that, let's rock it, how much money we need. And nobody realizes that that's not all of the persons, that's not all my money, that's not all me, I'm the face, but everybody else is behind me. And so
Mm,
in order for them to grow and be
mm,
big, they need that, right? So you have to choose
that's
as an
right. That's right.
entrepreneur, where do I want to be as a individual entrepreneur where it's a small business, or do I want to scale this bigger and grow and have a team?
Yes.
A lot of people don't think about that stuff.
No. And I don't think I even did in the beginning. Now that I've been growing, I definitely have. But yeah, I didn't either. You're right. You're exactly right.
And
It
so
truly takes a team and a lot of background people and a background help.
for sure, especially as a parent, having a kid and
Yes.
doing that, and then having to deal with a full-time job as well. So, with
Yes.
that being said, how do you manage that with a full time job? Do you currently still have a full time and do baking?
I do. Sometimes I don't want it. Even my current boss is like, "You could be doing more. Why are you still here?" Hopefully she doesn't hear that, but she's told me that some time ago. But I'm thankful for her because she is in support. But I can't let go just yet. There are some things in the works, like you said, like investors, business credit, different things that are coming in the works for me in the pipeline. I do have a group of people or a team that is helping me to get to the next parts and phases of for treats for often. Thank God my oldest will help me out. If needed, she doesn't live too far from me, so she's able to give a helping hand if I really, really need it. Uh-oh, I just saw you. blank out. Hopefully you're still there. I hope everything's okay. I don't know if I should keep going or not, but if you all are still there, she's we are still moving forward as far as planning phases. But yeah, unfortunately, I am. Well, I shouldn't say it's unfortunate because I do love my job. But
I'm
okay, I
here.
was worried. I was like,
Nope.
I don't know if she's still
I
there or
heard
not.
it. I heard
Okay,
it all. I heard it all. I had a call come
okay.
in and I was like, what is
Oh,
going on?
sorry.
No, no, you're fine. So, let's go on to the next question that I had. What would you
Yes.
say would be, as a baker, right? What
Mhm.
is your signature, like, move? What makes you separate, different from everyone else?
Hmm. Oh gosh, that's a good question. Um, I'll admit to you that sometimes in my mind, I struggle with that a lot because I've always been the type of person. I try to be original. I try not to copy other people, and I don't like other people copying me. Although it has happened, I've seen people copy me, which in a way I guess I should see that as an honor. I guess,
It
but
is. It's a
I try not to
compliment. If
copy
somebody
others.
copies you,
It
it's
is.
because they admire you. There's nothing wrong with
Yeah,
that.
and some have told me that. Some have told me that, and I'm like, okay, thanks, but you don't have to. Everybody's got their own. But I get it. I get it. After a while, I think you do have to copy in some kind of way because there are some things that's just it's going to come back full circle. I mean, heck, look at music. But
Yes.
oh gosh, I noticed this strawberry cake. I don't think anyone makes theirs like ours, which I'm hoping it stays like that. So ours is a little different from everybody else, and boy, does it take time, but it's worth it. The only thing that I really can think of, to be honest, that makes me separate from everyone else is a couple things. One, like I told you in the beginning, I told everyone in the beginning, God is pretty much at the foundation and basis of this building, of this business. He created it. I mean, he just kind of used me as the instrument to make it move and make it happen. But I've also noticed that throughout the years, I've been kind of like a minister to people too. Like I have a gift to pray. As you know, I was speaking earlier, saying that I can hear from God and vice versa. He definitely hears me, and thank you. I'm glad you do because I need, need to hear every prayer I can give out. But people sometimes come to me; they'll tell me their situations and start telling me going in their situations. And at that point, I'll, think or I'll tell them, hey, would you be okay if I pray for you? Or I'll be praying for you. And I'm so sorry to hear that. Or, things like that. So it's not always baking and giving them something, to eat. But sometimes people do have other underlying issues and situations going on in their lives that they just, just at that time, I believe I'm there to kind of be a help. So
Yeah.
any way
So,
to, make our lives a little better.
yeah. So it's like God's using the trees in order for you to bring people closer to Him, which is beautiful.
You know what? I love that. And I hope that is the truth because the way it is, everybody. I mean, it's not going to be good. Some stuff will be, but I tell people just get in God, just get a relationship with Him. Please get a relationship with Him. I don't say that loosely, especially in this day and age. He had me stop and talk to teenage boys that I didn't even know the other day. I mean, he just like his spirit just came on me. It's like talk to them now. And my oldest was like, "Mom, what are you doing? Why are you just?" I went and knocked on the door because they were inside of a car. I went and knocked on the window for them to bring it down. Just do it. He's like, I was like, I had to talk to him. And the funny part is every time I see them now, they're so respectful and kind and everything, saying they're talking to me. And these are teenage guys.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow, they're talking to me. I'm not the
Yeah.
old folky like I thought I was turning out to be. But
Yeah.
it's
You'd
awesome
be
to see.
surprised. You'd be surprised. A lot of, off topic from baking, but you'd be
Yeah,
surprised
yeah.
how many young teenagers need
Mm,
that because their parents are not aware of the relationship with God. They just know
yeah.
church.
Yes, I
I
agree.
hate church. Church.
Yes,
Ah. And it's
yes,
like, no,
right. You no,
it's
you're
not
exactly
church.
right. You're right.
It's Jesus. It's
That's
God.
right.
It's the
That's
relationship
right. It's
between
Jesus,
you
the relationship. That's
and
right.
God, not the religion or the
Yes.
temple. It's
Yes.
about how many times have you sat down in silence, and I tell this to people all the time.
Mm,
Sit in silence and ask, and you shall receive. But if you
mm.
don't sit in silence, you'll not hear. Yeah.
I have to do that. I have to do that. Sometimes I'm so busy, but it's like, okay, I've got to get my time in with God. Most of the time, it's usually he's been doing it for me, especially lately for a number of years now, but early in the morning. I don't know about you, but he gets me up like at 2, 3, 4 in the morning sometimes. I'm up. I mean, wide awake. And most times now that I'm getting older, sometimes I'm going to use the restroom, but sometimes it's not that. And I mean, I'm wide awake. So I'm like, okay, I'm here, God. What do you want to say? I'm listening. And it's like the best times. I've noticed over the years now, it's been some of the best
It's
times
so
people are quiet.
calm. It's so
It's
calm.
calm. Yeah. It's
I don't get
helpful.
up.
But I'm
He
like, but
doesn't
I need
wake
you to
me up
get me
at
before
3 in the
go.
morning every day.
Uh-huh.
but
That's
but it
good.
does
Well, not
happen
every day. I don't get it every
sometimes.
day too. Yeah, me too. Sometimes, yeah, not all the time, but yeah, sometimes. But I will ask him. I'll be like, could you please make sure I get enough sleep done before I go back to work? 'Cause I gotta go to work in the morning, like at 8 o'clock. So it's like, can you please make sure can I get that? And you know what though? When I ask that, he does. He makes sure I'm rested. So when I head back into work, I'm pretty much recharged and ready to start the rest of the day. So I'm like, okay. But yeah, he wakes me up more likely now. It's more like 5, 6. I'm up. I'm wide awake. So I'm like, okay, it's time to pray. It's time to get my word for a minute. Hear from him. So I love
Yeah.
it. It is a wonderful time. It's like almost like a muscle you're flexing and just exercise, and matter it becomes your relationship gets stronger. And in this
Yeah.
day and age, I'm telling you, what's to come, we're gonna need it. We're gonna need it.
So with that being said, your with your relationship with God, would you say how would you say that your clientele, where do you get your clientele or how do you get your clientele?
Honestly, they come from everywhere. Some are word of mouth, but I think majority of them have come from Google, which is interesting. Um, Out trying to go out, being a vendor, doing different things, trying to get them to, attract me. Hey, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. But for some reason, after a while, I was doing a lot of posting in Instagram. I've had a great helper over the number of years. One of my best mentors that I love is Chef Amanda Schomburg. She's awesome. She's helped me over the years, and with some of her things, just planning different things out in social media has helped. But now it's pretty much just Google. It's almost like, and I'll just sometimes even pray about it, like, God, look, everybody has their own, customers and clients they're supposed to have. Whoever is mine, bring them to me. And that's like I don't have to really go out there anymore. And I think because I've also been in the business for a while and people know, I'm here and exist. But some even are just moving in the area and they're just trying to find someone. So somehow, some way, God, gets their attention through social media, and they're like, "Oh, I just Google." 'Cause matter of fact, in my forms, I'll put in my order form like, "How did you find us? How do you find us?" And most of the time, it's through Google. So I'm thankful for
Oh,
Google.
good. Good. That's awesome. So I'm
It
glad that you
is. It
said that
truly
you
is.
have a mentor. A lot of people
I
don't
do.
have mentors, and I think that's super important. So if anything,
Yes.
if they want to get anything out of this conversation, any bakers or anybody that's in the industry of entrepreneurship, having a mentor is extremely important.
It
However,
is.
I know that it can be costly, right? But I feel,
Yes.
and you tell me what you think, but I feel that it is important to get a mentor through someone that that's doing the same thing. It doesn't have to technically be someone that's new that you don't know. Just because the person that might be able to be more real with you and tell you things the way it is. And opposed to someone who doesn't know you, it's kind of like they're just giving you the playbook without any emotion behind it.
at least one, or I say 1 to 3 if you can, members if you can. Some come from different aspects of business, just of business life, as well as maybe whatever your field is that you're in. You definitely want somebody directly, and I've had both, and I still do. I can even go back to some of them if I need to, but some are still, I'm on the train with, so which is great. But I tell you, they help and push. You want somebody to help and push you. Don't just always say yes, yes, no, no, or whatever you say goes. No, you need to be able to pick up and draw from them, and they have been that for me. And they have told me sometimes, no, don't go this route. Other time, no, 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 you should not be doing this because you're not attracting who you're wanting to attract either. You're attracting the wrong your clientele. So I'm like, okay, so
Yeah.
and I've been so grateful for that.
Yeah. And so what is some an advice that you would give to someone that is looking to get into becoming a baker or to becoming a pastry chef or something in that nature? What would be the best advice be for
Okay.
someone? What would you have loved to hear
Oh gosh,
yourself?
let's see. Um, to tell me anything, I guess I kind of learned out on my own. A big shout out to gosh, Sid. I don't know if you knew of her, if anybody's known of her. Sid Mitchell. She gosh, back in 20, I want to say 2016. Really nice. But I think she stopped as of now. Because I think she just had a change in careers and things. And then some of us that had, grown under her as well, we kind of graduated and probably didn't need it much anymore. So
Yeah.
since and she has a training, oh big training thing that she does now for bakers and treat makers that are coming up. But what I liked also about it with the both of them, they were together, but then they separated, just different reasons. But we love them. All of us that have worked with them over the years, we still love them both and conversate still with them both over the years. They're kind of like our mommies. But they didn't just teach us about the business of baking, because a lot of people know about the baking and cake decorating and things like that, treat making, but we didn't know the business aspect of that, how to run a business, how to effectively run a business. So they were a big help. And matter of fact, Mrs. Shummer or Chef Shummer, a lot of treat makers and those that want to be in that field. That, so I would probably highly recommend. And I'm not saying that to get any kudos or money or anything like that. I just know, just based off of what I have, and is still teaching people all over the world. She's gotten that big now, so this is an awesome thing. Um, it doesn't hurt, I don't think, to have other bakers and treat makers as colleagues to help you, and y'all learn from each other, help each other, support each other. I think that's helpful. Of course, you've got to watch, because some aren't for that. Some are to grab and get what you got.
Yeah, and I think
But
it's a good thing,
hopefully,
to have other bakers in the relationship in your circle, because there might be a
yes,
situation where you don't have time to take care of that client that day. However, you know the
yes,
quality and the work of another baker, and so you can always
yes.
refer that client to the another baker. And I'm sure
That's
you can
exactly
always do
right.
a referral program, right? I'm going to send you a client, you hook me up,
Yeah,
and so on and so forth. And I think that should work
exactly.
all around in any industry. But I do
Hmm.
think that in the beginning of any business, we always think, oh my God, we're in competition. Oh, I don't like them, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And it shouldn't be that way. It
Ah,
should be more
that's one I
like,
had to struggle with. It should not.
yeah, it shouldn't.
I'm
And
sorry.
and
Go
I
ahead.
don't think it I think, shedding light on that and sharing that information with people is, it shouldn't be a competition, because eventually you're going to need that person or they're going to need you.
That's right.
And that's just the way it
That's
is.
right.
You can only
That's
make a certain
exactly the
amount
way
of
it is.
cake in
Yes.
one day. Okay.
That's right. That's right. Unless you
And the
just got
goal
this
is
big
to make as
bakery
much, or
that you
to
got
even,
that. Yeah.
systemize the process and have a team do it for you.
That's right. That's right. I'm hoping to get to that point. We're getting there, but it's taking, I guess, some baby steps, and that's okay.
It's
I'm
okay.
fine with that.
It's okay. You started. That's the hardest part. And you
Gosh,
didn't
yes,
quit.
yes.
That's the even harder
No,
part.
there have been times, oh my gosh, yes, I was reading your agreeing with you when you were saying earlier, sometimes you heard in your head or you just had that mess up issue with the cake and they send it back to you. You're like, oh my gosh, do I fix it or do I give them the money back? Blah, blah, blah. I've had to do both. Sometimes just depending on the situation or what they wanted. Gosh, but thank God overall, usually 99% of the time it worked out fine.
Good.
I even had one give me a great 5-star review after. So I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she gave me a review after
Yeah.
all that. So yeah, it's awesome to see. It is truly awesome to see. It's been a bumpy journey, but it's been a great one.
Well, good. So we are coming to the end, and I want to thank you so much for your time and sharing your
You are
story
so
and
welcome.
your advice. And I would love if you know anyone that might be interested in doing an interview as well, please share my
Okay,
information with
okay,
them. And anyone
okay.
out there
Yes, I
watching,
can do
thank
that.
you so much for watching until the end. I know sometimes videos can be a little bit
Thank
long.
you.
However, I am trying and
Yeah.
working on making these videos a little bit shorter, but entertaining as well with any topic that anyone wants to talk about. So if anyone's out there and they have any questions for anyone in the future, please let me know. I appreciate your time and I send you lots of love and blessings.
Thank you.
And I hope that
Same here.
your
Thank you
business
so much.
flourishes. Um,
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. With that being said, I'm gonna let you go and we will catch each other on Instagram. Can you let us know how people can find you on Instagram?
Yes, it is, I think, just the name Treats for you. Treats is plural, so TreatsPhoria. So it's kind of euphoria, but the E and the U aren't on there, so it's Treats for you all together, just one word. I think you can look it up under my name too. I'm not sure, but you can look under Earah, Earah. So it's like Sarah, like I said before, but just starts with an E instead of an S. So I don't think anybody else too much has my name out there in the world. I mean, I think I've heard a couple, but I don't know. But anyway, I think those are the ways you can find me. If not, we definitely have a website, treatsforia.com. You can probably just Google us and you'll probably see a whole list of things pop up. So
Well,
hopefully
good.
you'll be able to
That's a
find some.
good
We'd be
thing.
happy to serve you.
Thank you. I hope you have a wonderful
Thank you as
day.
well. You
Talk to you soon.
too. Thank you.
Bye.
God bless you. Okay, bye
You
bye.
too.